What up, y'all? So this is part 2 of the Dragon Paladin series. This is the fun one, so if you're here for competitive decks, then definitely find a different video on the channel. Plenty of those for you to choose from, but if you're here for fun, this is the right place, because I've been wanting to do Dragon Paladin for a while. I know it's not good, but I really enjoy this creative aspect of Hearthstone, so this is the hunk of junk I'm going to run with today. Part 1, I played an even bigger hunk of junk, but I think this one has a little bit more potential just because it's got a better top end, and it's got, like, pretty much it's just an excuse to try and make Whelp and Peddler into other things work in just a, you know, like a little bit of a different dynamic. And I've got 2 other versions of this ready to go, so I'm going to try and pump these videos out for you guys. And again, I know it's probably bad, but I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and that's the whole reason I do this. Yeah, people that play games and don't find ways to enjoy them, I just kind of feel bad for them. So, but I think the first part of this video series, I went like 3 and 7, which was better than I expected. I expected to go like 1 and 9 or like 0 and 10 or something. So there's definitely something to dragons. Like there's some ability to close games out. But let's see how this goes.
Time for dreaming is over.
I will fight with honor.
Alright, not keeping any of this junk. And I think one of the crutches of the Paladin deck, or the Dragon Paladin deck so far, is the auras. So if you take out the auras, I think it forces you to really come to terms with like what is your strategy. Because auras are easy to lean on when you know that like turn 8 Gelbin is coming. If your board is kind of mediocre, that will kind of push it over the edge to be at least decent, if not good. This is an awful hand, by the way. No early drops is really bad, but this one is a little bit more top heavy than the last version of the deck I did, so... Okay. I think we do this.
Step forth into the time ways.
I don't hate that. I think we can do better, though, because... Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, I'm going to keep it because there is some fear that I'll draw something that costs a lot more. So if I draw like a 7 or an 8 drop, then, you know, it's a little bit worse for me, I think. This at least gives me something to do in the meantime. And yes, if you know me and my channel, you know that I love Searing Reflection. So yes, there is a Searing Reflection Dragon Paladin deck coming. I can't help myself. It's just... it's something I love. Okay, so 1 chalice out of the way. So we can spam the board with these guys, but I'm not sure that's the best bet. Let's see what we get off of this first, I think. I kind of like Conflux Crasher. It's not a super great card, though. Wind Fury with Crusader Aura is bonkers, but obviously that's a 9 drop. Yeah, I'm going to go with Conflux Crasher. It gives me something to do, and I'm just going to run this. Cool, both of them hit the green wing. I guess that's fine. Yeah, Conflux Crasher is interesting because it can hit their face. I've always thought it had a lot more potential than people give it credit for. Well then. Okay, then the other chalice is going to hurt. Alright. Well, that's kind of what I was hoping they wouldn't have. But what can you do? Yeah, let's do this. And this is kind of the state of the metagame. I think there's a lot of removal. Like, it's difficult for decks that like this, where it's not like the cards aren't inherently powerful. Like things like Greenwing, I think, are inherently powerful. Whelp of the Infinite is a great card, but it tends to rely on a lot of synergy, and that's why Dragon Warrior is, I think, the preferred dragon route, because there's cards in there that are inherently powerful in addition to the synergy. So, you know, like with this, I'm kind of just trying to force some stuff to work a little bit. So that's why I say I don't think this is going to be good, but I'm going to fiddle and see kind of how far I can take it. That's why I do these fun series, to kind of also remind people that, like, there's potential in everything, and just because it wasn't good the first or second time you tried it doesn't mean that you can't kind of hone a deck list more. So I think it's definitely worth working on decks if you think something is good, because usually your intuition is onto something. I mean, sometimes it's wrong, but usually it's seeing something that you can't articulate completely, and that's why it's intuition and not just conscious thought. Jeez. And to be fair, I think Mage is a pretty rough matchup in general. They've got tons of removal and tons of card advantage, so I'm just going to keep jamming guys, and hopefully I can stick enough guys to be able to stick a Crusader Aura or something. I'm a little doubtful at this point, but, you know, we got Conflux Crusher next turn probably. I don't think it's going to happen where these guys all live to the next turn, but if they do, Crusader Aura... Oh, no, there we go. Okie dokie. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Well, they're going to take 7 to the dome with Conflux Crasher, because now I'm mad. Sweet. Very lucky. And another Greenwing. Yeah, I'm still going to Crasher. Where am I? Whelp of the Infinite and Illusory Greenwing seems okay here. Because the longer the game goes, the less likely I'm going to be able to win with, like, the spray and pray method. Yeah, let's run it. I mean, 7 to the dome is decent. And yeah, like the last video in the series, if I go, you know, if I get a couple of wins, I'm very happy. I think finding out what cards or what combination of cards get you to the win is a big progress in deck building and kind of deck brewing. And I'm still not convinced that the auras are the way to go for this. It seems like an easy way to, like I said, to kind of prop up the strategy. And if that's the best version of this, then so be it. I think that says a lot, though, if that's the best version. I'm hoping Searing Reflection is the best version. Oh, good God. That's really bad. 3 of these guys is insane. Okay, we're just gonna do this and pray. That's pretty close. I think it might even be game. Yeah, it is game. Alright, got there. Okay, 1-0. Well, that's, yeah, like I said, very happy with that. The auras are doing work. And I can't imagine, I mentioned this in the first part of the video, I can't imagine what it's like being at Legend Rank and you're trying to, like, grind out games and improve your Legend rating, and then you just come against this guy, like, Dragon Paladin nonsense. And when I do actually sneak a win out, they're just like, how did I lose to this crap? Alright. So I always find that it's way more likely they're a Control Warrior once you are at Legend Rank. Below Legend Rank, I find Dragon Warrior to be much more common. So I'm going to mulligan as if they are Control Warrior, which means I'm actually very likely to keep Crusader Aura. Because if I can get a 1-drop, 2-drop... Yeah, one of the things is this version doesn't play Creature of Madness. I opted for some other cards just to try and try some of the... I wanted to try some of the top-end cards a little bit more. Like Gnarlex Firac is really awesome, so seemed like that was worth trying. Yeah, if I had a 1-drop or even a Creature of Madness, I think I could justify the Crusader Aura, but I don't think I can justify it here. Yeah, because, yeah, like, these two in Crusader Aura would have been god-awful. Okay, and now it's god-awful. Yep, control it is. Oh, good timing. Just actual perfect timing. Yeah, let's hit our curve. Got a 2-3-4 now. Yeah, I go back and forth on thinking this guy is good or not. Or she is okay. Not entirely sure how to evaluate her is the problem. I'm definitely keeping that. So they have the coin, so on turn 4 I need to be careful of Brawl and Hostile Invader. Oh, especially if they're drawing cards. So I can go double Peddler, but that does run the risk of running right into Brawl. So I think I'm going to do this.
Find me in the dream.
I would really like to double Peddler, but I don't know.
I remember this place well.
Okay. Maybe I should have double Peddlered. Yeah, I think we just jam Crusader Aura here, honestly. The best chance we have against Control Warrior is to have really early aggression and pray that they don't have good removal. And because I've got the Green Wing, that at least protects some of my guys from an attack back. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Well, shoot. Alright, well, there goes my board. Yeah, it seemed like it was really worth the risk for the Crusader Aura there. No regrets. So they're at 12. I think my best bet here is to just keep attacking. One more attack of the weapon will get me Gelbin. And playing Gelbin could be that extra little push to win the game. I would love to see Gnarlex. Just 1 mana Fire Rock is spicy. Okay. Well, thank you for leaving me a guy. Well, this will get Crusader Aura bump. That's nice.
For justice.
What are we doing here? Yeah, we're just gonna run this. And because we've got Gelbin next turn, I'm just gonna kind of spam the board a little bit. If that means I run into some kind of brawl or something, then so be it. I think it makes sure that if I can stick Gelbin, then, you know, even having just like 1 or 2 minions would be great. Annoying, but fine. Alright, seems good. Of all turns to draw that, wow. That's pretty unfortunate. Yeah, that's one of the auras I was really hoping to... Well then, I'm gonna do this. Oh, manager's okay, I guess. Let's do this. Let's throw that over there. So we're getting deep enough into the game where they could very easily come back. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's unfortunate. I don't want to give them more health, but I think killing one of these is not a bad idea. I could Anachronos, but the problem is Anachronos will... I believe that gives them back basically on like end of my turn, then they have them on their turn to attack with again, so it's not like I can do something. I think Nomelia might be the play, honestly.
Let me think.
Because doing Gelbin now just seems irresponsible. Like, they already have stuff that will obviously attack back and cause me a lot of problems.
I must move quickly. Step forth into the time waves.
Let's see if we can get that Gnarlex. Come on, show me Gnarlex. Same card. That's the same card. Alright, fine. Fine, fine, fine. Same card. What's up, Elizabeth Mary? Welcome to the Twitch chat. The question I ask all first-time chats is, what's your favorite Hearthstone card?
Mistakes of the past.
Ooh, that was bad. That was bad. Alright.
Happy New Year, champion.
That was also very bad. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. Okay. And the brawl. Of course they do. Well, if you don't play the game, I don't, unfortunately, interact with you. I'm here to play the game and talk with people about playing the game, so usually that means that you're here to sell something, so Elizabeth, no need to be around. Peace. Yeah, these bots and spam on Twitch are crazy, guys. Thank you to you guys that are following that are real people. So at this point, I think the game's probably over, so I'm just going to have some fun here. I feel like just casting Fire Rock is the way to go. I could... Okay, so actually, let's do this, because this is going to draw Gnarlex, and then next turn I can go Gnarlex, Fire Rock, just do some shenanigans. That sounds fun.
Don't tamper with time. I must move quickly.
All right.
relaxation for all, and all thanks to me.
Alright, the spam has been banned. I love when people come into the Twitch chat and they're just like, hey, how are you doing? Can I ask you a question? And I'm like, no. Like, no, I know this is going to go one of two ways. Either one, can I get your Discord so we can connect? Or two, would you like to buy my art? It's like, it's an answer of no to both of those. Oh yeah, give me them dragons. Sweet. So yeah, let's just go with that original plan because I love me something spicy. What do we got? Okay. Ooh. Wait, what was that? Discard what? Discard a random nature spell. Oh, okay. I was like, discard when? What? Who? And this is 8 damage to a random enemy. So I'm going to do this. No, we're going to do this. Because now it hits their face. And then I've got a board here, so in theory I could Crusader Aura next turn. I mean, I don't even need the Aura, but like it would be it'd be pretty sweet to Aura and win that way. There's something extra like spicy about winning with Crusader Aura. It's like a big old slap in the face. So they need removal. And very badly. Okay, not removal, but it could be brawl fodder. Fine. Alright, buys him a turn. Control Warrior is so annoying. Probably more annoying than Murlocs, in my opinion. So I've only got one more use of this. So I'm going to do this and this. And this either hits their face or kills that guy. Cool. I might as well keep Mechatork. I could even cast Mechatork here. You know, I'm gonna play Mechatork. Why not? We're having fun.
All forms of life will be.
Ooh. Jeez. Fine. That's fine. Wow. Fascinating.
Don't tamper with time.
Yeah, sadly I gotta do this. Because pretty much everything I play is gonna get derailed off of that. Yeah, and I guess let's just get some guys out there.
For justice.
Alright, so weapon is clear. Decent board. And they can only deal 4 damage with the spell burst and the death rattle of hostile invader. But once they start dropping the quest rewards, things are going to get really crazy. Okay, there's the potential for 8 damage or more. Yeah, there's 6.
Planetary decimation. Planetary decimation.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It begins. So bad. Okay.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, I'm probably going to concede in the next turn or two. Just depends on which quest rewards they get to first. There was like one turn, yeah, the turn before they bobbed, where I was feeling like there was some potential. All right, we're done. Once you got the time warp, it's silly. Alright, so I normally play 10 games in my my video series. For this one, I'm going 5 games just because I already know this is pretty mediocre. And sometimes I like to switch up the games. So last time I did this, I think I played 10 games total, but I switched up some cards in the middle. So we're 2 games in. After 5 games, I'll reevaluate and then kind of see if some small tweaks are in order or if we just got to scrap it and go with a different version. So we will see. Yeah, I try not to bore you guys with deck building too much on YouTube because the YouTube algorithm is super brutal. You know, if people get bored for 3 seconds and leave, then YouTube's like, oh, people must not want to see this. So...
I will fight with honor.
But it was, yeah, it was pretty obvious this is a little bit of a jankier version even than the last one, I think. But this is a good hand. It seems very, very opening hand dependent. Like, if I can get a good curve out, then, like, going 1-drop, like, Whelp into Peddler is great no matter what. And that's part of why I wanted to try this version, because if you can do that, get some early guys, and then go into, you know, just the bigger guys, Gelbin, Fyrak, etc., then maybe the deck has a little more potential that way. But from the games I've played so far, it seems like early game aggression is the best path, which means you got to play stuff like Whelp of the Bronze and definitely Creature of Madness. I think this version could use Creature of Madness for sure. Yeah, let's just run this.
I never make 2 trips.
There's the bellhop.
I never make 2 trips.
Thankfully, he's only a 3/3. I've had people play him as like a 7/7 or bigger. It's just out of control. So you got what? Turbulus, Flight of the Firehawk, I think it's called. I think there's 1 or 2 other pump spells that are relevant. Oh, is it Bird Watching, I think? Yeah, Bird Watching is the spell also. So only downside to playing Peddler there was I had to draw a dragon for Historian. So now we've got no dragon for that, which sucks. So maybe that was the turn 2 play. I figured there was decent chance of drawing a dragon, but here we are. I think trading with 1 of these is not bad. Yeah, 2 mana, 2/3, just vanilla doesn't cut it. And I don't think I'm desperate enough. then I'm just going to play it for the sake of the body, so...
Reporting for duty.
And I know what you're thinking, but then Peddler doesn't hit anything if I trade with the Whelp. But I think it's okay, because the Shaman can be pretty brutal if they get a lot of forward momentum. So stifling any of that, I think, is really helpful.
For justice.
There's good old Fire Rock. And I could play a version of this deck that runs the Maul so that I can get Fire Rock and Gnarlex as the first draws. They would have to be the top end, though, so then everything else would have to cost 6 or below. Which could be okay. It's essentially just a different Gelbin idea, because you're doing that on turn 8 like you would Gelbin. The 7 for Gnarlex and the 1 extra to play Fire Rock. Anachronos ain't bad. If I play O Manager this turn, then I can do Anachronos next turn. I think that's fine. I really don't want to attack this with the weapon, though. It's kind of annoying. I can also just Nomelia next turn, but that would only kill, like, I could kill these 3 guys and these would be left still.
Let me think. I must move quickly.
Yeah, this is a pretty crappy spot here. So I'm going to run this just because I do anticipate them playing more things that will be problematic, which would make Anachronos probably a little better. If they were a very good player, they would play everything on the side of the Growfins, because that would shield them from Nomelia. I'm hoping they play it next to the Frog, because that gives me Nomelia potential still, and I don't have to Anachronos. Ooh, or they could just do that. That's pretty good. So yeah, I think Nomelia is the call here. Because I attack this, it kills all 3 of those get 2 damage apiece, and then I can smack another one with that. I mean, Anachronos is fine, but I think Nomelia into possibly Gelbin. I'm trying to think if there's a play with Maul, because if I go like Maul, hit one of the 2/4s, I'm still taking a lot of damage back. I don't think I can justify that. And yeah, then we gotta do this. And now we pray. So I think I'm gonna try a version of this that doesn't play Gelbin or the auras. I might play Chronological Aura. I don't know. Crusader Aura is probably the best aura. So if I cut Gelbin and the 2 Fabled auras, that's 3 cards I need to find. Gelbin would get me all 4 auras right now.
Let me think.
I could also chronological aura, but that seems a little weaker. I'm going to have a chronological aura either way if I Gelbin, so... I'm just trying to think of like the best possible time to play Gelbin, because you want to get max value. So if there's a way you can set it up better, you know, if you got some minions on the board, Gelbin's amazing, because then Crusader aura, plus you get the protection of a dragon. And I guess the life gain is a little relevant here from Gnomish aura. Not hugely, but enough so probably to matter. Ooh, Shudderwalk. That's a card. Or Shudder Block, excuse me. That's how old I am. I say Shudderwalk, because that was the OG Shudder. Was that potentially a misplay? Why would they do that? Okay. Well, I get double Crusader aura now if I want. That'd be 13 plus 8 is 21, and I could also do this. That's 25. That's actually not bad. They're probably going to do something crazy off of Shutter Block. But that's going to happen either way, so let's just do the damage while we can do the damage. I think, yeah, so my other win against Mage was because of double Crusader aura, and if I win this game, it's likely just because of double Crusader aura, so I think I'm going to cut, yeah, I'm going to cut Gelbin, the two Fabled auras, and I think the Chronological. I'm going to keep the Crusader aura, but then that means I need to add 3 or 5 cards. Ooh, that's annoying. That's very annoying. Well, that's good timing for them. They need the life. Interesting. They gotta use the Hagatha. Okay. I was like, if they use the other Ziliax for that, then that's just bad. That's the way to go, for sure. Okay, so we got one Anachronos. Kinda hard not to. This draws me Gnarlex, so I can Gnarlex Fire Rack next turn. Two more turns? One more turn for Crusader Aura. Can you imagine how good Crusader Aura would be if it was characters instead of minions? If your hero also got +2 attack? That would be nutty. A man can dream, right? Straight to my face. Okay, then. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with the Gnarlex plan.
Go forth on swift wing. My hatred cannot be contained.
Ooh. Annoying, but fair. Well, that helps. What do we got here? 3 damage, 4 damage. Wow. So we've only got 2 mana. So let's just throw the damage at their face. I've got another... So next turn they get back their Ziliaxes, their Ziliaxi. But this could be problematic. I assume it's going to be a Growfin. Ooh, that's way better. Okay, I'm just dead. Very well played. Yeah, this little combination with the slimes and Shutter Block is incredible. You got to set it up with Hagatha and... Yeah, and you got to get the right spell with the Angry Birds. What is it? Furious Fowls. But yeah, very strong. Hard to argue with that loss. So 2-1 after 3 games. Or excuse me, 1-2 after 3 games. Yeah, I think it's right to take the auras out of this. The question is, how do I change this up? Let's see what we can do. So we're going to take out Gelbin, and I think the chronological auras are good to take out. And I do have a version of Dragon Paladin with Imbue, which I think could be okay. So I think I got to play Creature of Madness also is the thing. Whelp of the Infinite seems good, but Whelp of the Bronze seems to do a little bit more work. And we could also go like the spicy route with Briar Spawn or something. It does mess up the draws off of Maul, though. I think Fire Rock into Gnarlex is the most reliable little combo there. Chilmaw could be okay, but I'm not a super big fan of that card. I think it used to be much better in past standard metagames. We could do the cheese, but we've got 6 4-drops, so let's get the Creature of Madness first. That one's for sure. And then we could also go Righteous Protector, honestly. How many dragons do we have here? We got a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 dragon count, which is okay. That's actually not bad. I'm going to dump the Historian, and we're going to go... Let's go double Righteous Protector, and believe it or not, I think I'm just going to throw the Whelps in here, and we're going to cut the chronological auras. That does... Well, okay. Time out. This is the thing. Creature of Madness is essentially a 2 and a 3 drop. So... Let's cut the Portal Vanguards, because they're not as strong in a version that would be aggressive like this. And let's see how this goes. I think this one... Yeah, we're going to call this 2.1. I think this one has a little more potential than that last build with the auras. I mean, we're effectively playing most of the auras still, just not playing Gelbin. So I think the Mauls could have a little bit more reliability for something meaningful. Gelbin's good, but I think this synergizes with what we're doing a little more. I don't know. Let's find out. Eesh. Not what I like to see. Okay. Death Knight can be brutal. I'm going to keep an O manager because those leeches are pretty... they're pretty unforgiving for my early turns, like these guys.
The light dims, but we fight.
It feels very weird playing Whelp of the Bronze and Whelp of the Infinite, but... I think it's fine to run one of these out there. I could actually just run both of them out there.
Let me think.
Because they're both going to be 3/2s because of the pump. Yeah, let's run it. Why not?
Repent.
So if they have the 2 damage leech spell, then they'll kill one. Okay, that's fine. They could kill one, and then that would also kill the Righteous Protector with the leech. I follow up with O Manager and attack back. Double O Manager. We got 2 Karens in the building.
Reporting for duty.
Crusader Aura off the top would be amazing. I'm starting to think this isn't a dragon deck, it's just a Crusader Aura deck. That's pretty solid. So let's do one here and one here. We'll trade this. One thing I like about Lanessa is it casts your spells twice if they cost 2 or less, so your coins give you double mana. Sometimes it's relevant. Like if you can go Lanessa, O Manager, like on turn 7, then you get double coin, and those coins give you double mana, so it's pretty cool. I think I'm just going to jam her out here.
The sun shines for you.
At this point, just got to keep the aggression going. There it is. Ooh. That's annoying. So... I could Nomelia. If this is explosive... What is it? Explosive runes? That's really bad. Misdirection... is it misdirection? No. Yeah, there's a couple spells that could be annoying between Oasis Trap. Yeah, misdirection could be annoying, but that's only if I attack their hero. Snake Trap could be annoying, but not the worst. Yeah, I find in this situation, sometimes passing back the turn just gives them... It's essentially just a time warp, because you don't do anything, they get a free turn. I think it's worth risking Nomelia, though. Because if I'm... Oh. Okay. That's alright. And then we get to do that and this. So yeah. Alright. It was Counterspell. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about the Chronological Aura, but a Counterspell would have been so brutal there. So yeah, I always find in that situation, normally it's okay to play through it unless you're... if your board position is good enough that you can just pass back and not worry about it, I find that to be okay. But if not, then it seems to be much more important to just play through and kind of play to whatever the least detrimental outcomes would be. So if one of them is a blowout, if it happens to be that secret, then I wouldn't do that. So I think I gotta do this in Chronological Aura. I'm not happy about it, though. A Husk would be pretty brutal right now. Ay. With the Dark Gift, that's crazy. Okay, so yeah, we're basically dead. There's not really anything I can do from this point. Like, we just... I mean, I guess I could play this, and that means I take a little bit... They take a little bit less health from me instead of... So they take it from the minion? It's still not good. Yeah, I don't know that there's anything I could even draw. Like, Anachronos would be okay, but that's delaying the inevitable. That's a 5% chance I draw that card. Fire-Rack, I guess I could cast next turn off the coin. Alright, let's just see if we can get an Anachronos or a Fire-Rock. Otherwise, kind of stuck. Yeah, Death Knight has been a terrible matchup for this deck as I've been playing. I think I played against them once in part 1, and that was brutal. Of all things to draw. Woo, we got rid of the 8/8.
For justice.
Or no, I should have attacked that. Whatever. This game is basically over. I've got nothing here. I'm not going to waste your time with this nonsense. So yeah, I'm going to play one more game and then I think I'll have to jump to another part of this video series to see. I'm thinking next version will probably be the Searing Reflection one. That one seems fun, but And if you can think of cards that I should be playing, definitely comment them and let me know, because I'm definitely open to ideas. Again, don't think this is going to be good, but I'm seeing what I can do here.
Uther versus Rexar.
All right, Hunter.
I will fight with honor.
Yeah, part of the reason I do these fun video series is with decks that are just obviously not good is I get bored sometimes. Like, Dragon Warrior is fun, but if I just play Dragon Warrior all the time, it kind of takes the fun out of the game for me. I feel like I'm just grinding like it's a job as opposed to actually having some fun. So I normally will go through as many variations of a deck as I can find. And then I guess it seems kind of bad, but I go through as many variations of a deck as I can. Like, I went through 6 variations of Dragon Warrior, I think, on the YouTube channel. And those were fun and interesting. But once you run out of those, it's like I kind of want to just do something a little different with it. So I think Weapon is the call here, and
For justice.
I think that's okay. So, like, I may experiment with another version of Dragon Warrior, but I don't know that there's too much left to be explored there. That's the only bad thing about having so much deck information online, is pretty much all of the things get explored pretty quickly. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let go of this 3 damage that was left on the weapon. Still get the coin. But like, you know, Dragon Warrior I think is pretty thoroughly explored. Death Knight, thoroughly explored. It was really cool to me when Tracking Hunter started showing up, because then that's a cool little archetype that seems to be very relevant in the standard metagame. So at some point I'll probably break down and get those cards to build it, but I have almost nothing for it. Same thing with Shaman. Seems like a really cool deck. I will probably break down and play it sometime, but don't have very many cards for it, so... Currently I'm building a Cycle Rogue. I'm like 1 or 2 cards away, so looking forward to playing that. Yeah, this little Freezy buddy was a little annoying there. That's unfortunate. So it's this or Sun Snapper? Or Sun Sapper, excuse me. Should be sapping that sun.
Let me think.
So Linessa could be okay. It means next turn I could have 8 mana, but not really. You know, let's give her a try. And I'm going to sacrifice the Peddler to the Glacial Shard. So this way, if this lives, next turn I can attack. I draw Gnarlex. I coin for double mana because of Linessa. And then I can play Gnarlex and Fire Rack on turn 6, which seems cool. I swear, if they kill her off of an amulet, which one do they get? Oh. Alright. That's kind of cool.
For justice.
Alright, so if I do this, all the minions in my hand cost 1 less. So Gnarlex costs 6, and then I coin. Yeah, that still works. Ooh, and it worked double. That's right, because of Linessa. Even better. So I didn't even need the coin. Let's do this.
My hatred cannot be contained.
Well, that was cool.
I must move quickly.
Okay, so I got 3 turns to play these guys. I guess let's just kill that, and we'll do that. That was a snazzy little turn.
Sisters, my arrows shall strike down our foes. Sisters, my arrows shall
Ooh,
strike
that's
down
pretty
our
good.
Quickly. Nice to meet you.
That's fair. Okay, alright. Double arcane shot to the dome is crazy.
Mistakes of the past rewritten.
I found a sea urchin.
Tide Pupil is very good in that deck.
Sisters, my instinct shall hunt down our enemies.
What, do you repeat? Yeah, so they're gonna repeat, what, twice? That's nuts. So much value in this deck. In my experience, if they can get that scout off and then discover 1 or 2 cards in a turn, that's enough value to put them very far ahead. Interesting that that's what they got from the pupil. Well, let's gain a little life. Definitely doing that.
This time.
Alright, let's hope that they don't have the win here. Seems likely that they could just kill us this turn, but let's find out.
Shaking us stir.
Huh. They just need to find about 3 damage at this point. There it is. Yeah, hard to argue with that. 1 and 4. Alright, so that's it for this episode of Janky Decks and how not to play them. But yeah, Dragon Paladin, not super great so far. I'll probably explore maybe 1 or 2 more videos within the series before I give it up, but it's fun for now, so we'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching, guys.